Hey everyone, before we get started with this review, I want to quickly mention two things. First, this video is divided into two parts. The first will not have spoilers for the movie, and the second half will. Due to the more specific nature of the negative things I have to say about the movie, those will mostly be in the spoiler section. I'll put up a very clear message before the spoiler section begins, so you can avoid that if you want. Second, for those of you who might not know me, my name is Jordan Greer, and I started GTplanet.net all the way back in 2001. I am, of course, very close to the Gran Turismo series, and I have known almost everyone portrayed in this movie personally for many years. However, I was not involved in the production of the movie, and my impressions come from a public screening of the film, so I think that gives me a unique perspective, which you might find interesting. To put it simply, this is a great movie. It's highly entertaining, and it's going to be fun for anyone to watch, even if they're not into cars or racing or don't know anything about Gran Turismo. The production, cinematography, sound, and music is all top-notch and extremely well done. It's clear that no expense was spared in achieving a very high production value, and it shows. The most exceptional part of the movie is, without a doubt, the cinematography of the racing itself. There have been some very good modern racing movies over the last few years, but I think Gran Turismo sets a new standard here. The FPV drone shots really take things to the next level and gives us some perspectives that we've just not seen before. In various interviews, director Neil Blomkamp has talked about his commitment to sticking with practical effects and showing cars driving at true speeds in the movie, and it's really paid off for him. It looks spectacular. Fortunately, the sound design is also up to the same high standards, with the cars actually making the noises that they should. When I first saw the trailer, I was a little concerned the acting might be a bit cheesy, but once the movie got started, I was pleasantly surprised. Some of the writing in the earlier parts of the film doesn't do David Harbour's character, Jack Saltaire, any favors, but overall he does a great job in this role. His character becomes a central part of the story, and he really hits his stride as the movie progresses. It's a little strange to review Archie Madekwe's portrayal of the main character, Jan Mardenborough. I know Jan personally, so I can't help but compare Archie to the real guy. Jan is a pleasure to be around. He's calm, collected, self-confident, yet humble. Archie manages to pull this off to a degree, but he's not quite as likable or friendly in the role as Jan is in real life. Orlando Bloom was a bit too effervescent for my liking, but like David Harbour's role, he too seemed to get more comfortable as the movie and his character progressed. As someone who is very familiar with the true story being told in this movie, yes, I can confirm they did take a lot of creative liberties and shortcuts in order to make this a more compact and exciting story that fits into the movie's 2-hour runtime. If you are a GT Academy alumnus, or you're into motorsport, or you have followed Jan's story closely, there are indeed going to be a lot of times where you'll be saying to yourself, that definitely didn't happen. The main villain, Nicholas Kappa, is a horrifically dirty driver who would probably be banned from just about every form of motorsport if he drove like this in real life. However, if you can manage to turn that part of your brain off for just a few hours and go into it with an open mind, I think you will enjoy it a lot more. For the vast majority of people who don't care about all those details and just want to see a good flick, this is a slam dunk. I'm now going to discuss more specific things about the movie, including the things which I did not like, so minor spoilers are going to be unavoidable beyond this point. Maybe I just didn't catch many of them on my first viewing, but I wanted a lot more Easter egg surprises in this movie. Of course, this is just me speaking as a super fan, and it won't have an impact on most viewers, but there's over 25 years of Gran Turismo lore this movie could have tapped into, but it just doesn't. There are literally 100 million Gran Turismo fans out there who would have been delighted spotting notable cars from old GT games or references to popular original tracks. There are also hundreds of real people in what insiders call the Gran Turismo family, including other GT Academy alumni or people involved with the Gran Turismo esports series, or famous Polyphony Digital employees who would have been so fun to spot in the background. There are a few Easter eggs, though. Yan is briefly shown watching a video by YouTuber Steve Brown, also known as Super GT, and my favorite surprise is a cameo appearance by the actual creator of Gran Turismo himself, Kazunori Yamauchi. I won't spoil that one for you, I'll let you catch that one on your own, but I couldn't help but laugh out loud when I saw it. Speaking of Kazunori Yamauchi, I was surprised and a bit disappointed with how his character was integrated into the film. The movie begins with the Polyphony Digital team testing and scanning cars for the game, and we are introduced to Yamauchi-san for the first time as he is played by actor Takahiro Hira. It seems to imply that we will be seeing more of how their efforts to produce the game contributed to Yan's ability to make the jump from virtual to reality. But the movie never really goes anywhere with this. Yamauchi's character somewhat awkwardly and briefly appears at various stages in the movie, but it feels clunky. That's a shame, because I know for a fact that Yan's story and the success of GT Academy is a tremendous source of pride for Yamauchi and one of the crowning achievements of Gran Turismo. Of course, this movie's not supposed to be about Yamauchi, but I think it could have done a better job of acknowledging how Yan's success helped validate Yamauchi's life work. The Gran Turismo movie is being heavily marketed and portrayed as a true story. And it basically is. It's just not a story which can be entirely attributed to Yan himself. The movie makes the process look very clear-cut. GT Academy was conceived, Yan wins, and he forges a new path in the racing world. Yan certainly played a part in that story, but it omits a very important fact. Yan was following in the footsteps of the first GT Academy champion, Lucas Ordóñez, who won the first iteration of the competition all the way back in 2008. Lucas was incredibly successful on and off the track, and it was the path he forged that proved the GT Academy program could actually work. The movie, however, portrays Yan as the original GT Academy champion. It frames his ability to get on the podium at Le Mans as a critical factor in proving GT Academy's viability. Yet Lucas was on the podium at Le Mans in 2011, before Yan even stepped foot in GT Academy race camp. And Yan's only Le Mans podium came in a car he co-drove with Lucas and Michael Crum in 2013. Sadly, the movie makes no mention of Lucas or his accomplishments at all. Instead, it attributes much of his success as a trailblazer to Yan, which doesn't seem very fair or accurate. To be clear, none of this is Yan's fault. He is someone I consider a friend. He's incredibly talented, and his story absolutely deserves to be told. I just wish the movie had done a better job of acknowledging Lucas and some of the other GT Academy champions who helped make the program such a success. Yan does not deserve to have this awkward footnote on his movie, and Lucas does not deserve the snub. It's really too bad. Despite my criticisms, I really enjoyed the film, and I think it does a great job telling a story that a lot of people don't know. Having this story told in the form of a polished and entertaining movie goes a long way to legitimize and publicize sim racing. It's pretty amazing that this movie actually exists, and to be honest, I'm relieved it was executed at such a high level. Go see it. Share your thoughts in the comments below, or better yet, click the link in the description. That will take you to the GT Planet forums, where our community will be discussing everything about the movie in great detail. And stay tuned, we're going to have a lot more coverage over the next few weeks. So click the subscribe button to be sure you don't miss a thing.